How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Horror Basement. My name is Shane, and welcome back to another installment in the Cryptids of Maryland series, where, for the first time, I am going to be stretching the rules because I've run out of famous cryptids that exist only within the state of Maryland. So today we are going to talk about a cryptid that is local to the Appalachian Mountains. Now, those who are not familiar, Appalachia is a mountain range that stretches from the Carolinas up into northern New York and is the primary geographical feature of the western half of Maryland, the place I call home. So I've recently been hearing about these things that are called not deer. And they are, just as the name would imply, they are creatures of malevolent or unknown origin that, for the purpose of hunting both deer and humans, are impersonating deer. Now, these creatures do not do a very good job, because any person that sees one of these creatures can immediately tell that this is not a normal deer. Now, this might be due to the fact that people who live in Appalachia, like myself, rarely go more than a day or two without seeing a white-tailed deer, dead or alive, standing or laying on the side of the road as we make our way through our lives. But some of the things that that can help you recognize a not deer opposed to a regular deer is that the neck is longer, the legs are shorter or bend in the quote-unquote wrong way, the eyes are more forward-facing, more akin to that of a predatory animal as opposed to a herbivore. And most importantly, for the purpose of this video, they are said to be aggressive and not afraid of humans, unlike a deer who will immediately run away if you attempt to approach it in any way. So the story, in doing some research, the story of the not deer first appeared online on a website called Reddit, which, to my knowledge, is primarily used for people to anonymously admit to incest and murder. And from Reddit, it's made its way over to TikTok, which, to my knowledge, is a site primarily used by people between the ages of 8 and 12 years old to make things they saw or heard about from Reddit go viral. Now, generally in this series, I have been very pro-cryptid. I have been a staunch supporter of the absolute fact of Bigfoot, Chessie, the Snallygaster, the Dwayyo, the Goat Man of Prince George's County, all the other, basically all cryptids. I'm down with them. But the issue with not deer is that we do actually have a very real but still dangerous scientific explanation for these sightings. First, we need to remember that every deer, much like every person, is unique. And just because a deer looks kind of weird or is kind of ugly, that does not mean that it isn't necessarily dangerous. There are many deer that live out in the wild that have been horribly maimed or injured through run-ins with hunters and run-ins with automobiles that have left them with bum legs, twisted bodies, and horrific visages of all kinds. But the bigger issue is that there are many chronic diseases that plague the white-tailed deer community that give off very similar symptoms to the quote-unquote not deer sightings. Specifically, I'm talking about chronic wasting disease, which is the easier of the two to say, and epizootic hemorrhagic disease, which is the more difficult of the two to say, which are both chronic diseases that exist in white-tailed deer that cause the degradation of the central nervous system, which causes these deers to become confused, disoriented, become lost, and also take on a sickly and emaciated countenance, which can cause many of the seeming weirdness of the limbs, like overly long neck. And because these deer are sick, dying, and confused because their brain is being eaten away by various viruses and bacteria, they will also become aggressive and non-afraid of humans. So, for the first time in the history of the channel, I am taking a non-pro cryptid stance. I'm saying if you see something that you believe to be a not deer, do not, first of all, whether it's a not deer or a deer that is just sick, get away from it. That's step one. Get inside, get to a safe place. And two, in lieu of making a Reddit post or doing a TikTok dance about it, go ahead and call your local DNR officer, where they can hopefully humanely put the deer out of its misery and stop the spread of these very dangerous diseases that are affecting our local wildlife. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I just wanted to do a little PSA about the real cause of the not deer phenomenon, in case any of y'all weren't aware. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, hit that subscribe button for more cryptid content. I swear they're usually not as sad and sick animal heavy as this one. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Thank you.